Let's be honest, we spend most of our lives showing the world our best side. We curate it, polish it, and present it like a perfect product. We're the perfect partner, the successful professional, the happy, well-adjusted friend. Our social media is a highlight reel, and our public faces are carefully constructed masks. But what about the other parts? The parts we don't show anyone? I'm talking about the jealousy you feel when a friend succeeds. That flicker of rage you get in traffic. The ambition you've been told is too much. The secret vulnerability you hide from everyone, even the people you love. We're taught to push these things down, to ignore them, to be ashamed of them. We treat them like a malfunction, a glitch in our personality that needs to be fixed or hidden away. But what if that's completely wrong? What is the parts of yourself you hate the most? The parts you actively deny are actually the key to becoming who you were always meant to be. About a century ago, the Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung explored the deepest corners of the human mind. And out of all his complex theories, there's one idea that's more powerful and practical than all the rest. It's the idea that confronting the part of yourself you deny is the only way to become whole. So forget the dusty books for a second. This isn't an academic lecture. This is the story of Jung's most powerful idea and how it's the only way to stop feeling so fragmented and finally become the person you're supposed to be. Jung famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." And that journey starts by turning around and facing what's been following you this whole time. Section 1. Meet your shadow. Jung had a name for all the parts of ourselves we reject and push away. He called it the shadow. It's everything we've decided we are not. Imagine this. The moment you were born, someone handed you an invisible backpack. Throughout your childhood, your parents, teachers, and society at large told you which parts of your personality were good and acceptable. These were the parts you were allowed to keep out in the open, but the other parts, they were deemed bad, unacceptable, or shameful. Your raw anger, your intense jealousy, your so-called selfish desires, or your weak vulnerability, you learned, one way or another, to take these parts and stuff them into the backpack. Zip it up. Hide them away. Over the years, you got so good at it, you almost forgot they were even there. Almost. The problem is, that backpack doesn't just sit there quietly. It gets heavier. And the things you've stuffed inside don't just disappear. They're alive. They're festering. And they want to be seen. Since they don't have a healthy place in your life, they find other ways to get out. They burst out in moments of unexpected rage. They bubble up as anxiety that seems to come from nowhere. They fuel the addictions and self-sabotaging behaviors you just can't seem to explain. It takes constant effort, and you know it's going to shoot to the surface, probably at the worst possible moment. This is why you might feel stuck, or why you keep falling into the same destructive patterns. It's your shadow, running the show from behind the scenes. Section 2. The world is your mirror. So, if the shadow is unconscious by definition, how are you supposed to know what's in yours? Jung gave us a fascinating and deeply unsettling answer. Projection. Projection is when you unconsciously see your own unacknowledged traits in other people. In other words, everything that drives you crazy about other people can lead you to a deeper understanding of yourself. Think about it for a second. Who's that one person that gets under your skin? Maybe it's a coworker whose arrogance makes you cringe, or that friend whose victim mentality you just can't stand, or a public figure whose perceived phoniness fills you with rage. Jung would suggest you look closer. That intense, personal, emotional reaction, that's your shadow knocking on the door. The things that trigger you in others are a map to the disowned parts of yourself. Does their arrogance infuriate you? Maybe you were taught that self-promotion is ugly, so you shoved your own ambition and confidence into that shadow backpack. Now, seeing someone else display it so openly feels like a personal attack. Do you despise their weakness? Perhaps you disowned your own vulnerability long ago, believing it was too dangerous to show. This is a tough pill to swallow. It's way easier to believe the problem is out there, with them. But Jung's work shows us that our outer world is often just a mirror of our inner one. Noticing your projections is the first real step to taking your power back. The next time you have a huge emotional reaction to someone, just pause. Ask yourself, what is this really about? Is there a tiny rejected part of me that I see in this person? That question is the beginning of turning on the lights. Section 3. Mining for gold in the dark. Okay, so you know what the shadow is and how to spot it. Now what? It's time to learn how to work with it. This is a process called shadow work, and it's crucial to understand this isn't about eliminating your shadow. You can't. The goal isn't to defeat your dark side, but to integrate it. As Jung said, wholeness isn't about being perfect. It's about bringing all the opposites of your personality together. This is also where you find your hidden gold. Conclusion. Step 1. Notice your triggers and get curious. Is to just become an observer of your own emotions. When you feel a sudden surge of anger, shame, or envy, don't immediately react or push it away. Instead, get curious. Pause. Breathe. Acknowledge the feeling without judging it. Just say to yourself, there's the anger, or okay, jealousy is here. This simple act creates a little bit of space between the feeling and your reaction. Consciousness is born in that space. Step 2. Give it a voice. Instead of suppressing the feeling, you're going to engage with it. Journaling is one of the best ways to do this. Ask the feeling questions. If it's jealousy, you could write, "Hello, jealousy. What are you trying to tell me? What do you want? What are you afraid will happen if I don't listen?" Step 3. Find the gold in the dark. This is the most transformative step. You start to realize that your shadow isn't just a junkyard of negativity. It contains incredible power, vitality, and creativity. That rejected anger, it might be the raw energy you need to finally set firm boundaries in your life. Your suppressed ambition, once you own it, it could be the fuel to pursue a goal that truly matters to you. Your envy of someone else's freedom, that could be a signpost pointing toward a deep desire for more adventure in your own life. By bringing these traits into the light, you can choose how to use their energy for good. The fear of being seen as weak can become a capacity for genuine empathy and connection. You're not destroying the shadow, you're integrating its energy, which makes you more whole and way more powerful. The real payoff of all this work is what Jung called individuation, the process of becoming a whole, unified, and authentic person. It's the feeling of no longer being at war with yourself. It means finally taking off that heavy backpack and realizing that everything you needed for the journey, you've been carrying with you all along.